All right, and we are back from the break. Lafdul has taken a snooze with the fairies and
Yeah, it was
changed up your spells.
experience. More than a few. There was a question about one.
Mhm.
That screech.
Yeah.
Would I know if Impregnable Mind would protect against it or give me a saving throw bonus? Because it says affects the mind.
No, that would not.
Alright.
That was purely auditory.
Alright, so silence 15-foot radius is the only thing I can do with that. To not hear it.
Yeah. Now, you would
Great thing
realize that
about
you
being.
just happened to be in the area of effect kind of thing. Like, it was
Do I
not
realize
directed
how
at you.
far away it is?
No, you weren't paying enough attention at the time.
Mm. Well, I've
All right.
got a silence 15-foot radius. I might just put it on like an arrowhead and put it in my pouch and just draw it in and out.
So you got a night's sleep, wake up with a bit of a hangover. That fairy wine and mead, quite potent. Um, and you can change up your spells. How long are you going to need for that, though?
I've changed up quite a few because I'm being very cautious. I don't know off the top of my head, but I would say I've changed at least half my spells, probably like 5 hours. Pretty long.
Okay. Um, After about 3 hours, the fairies start getting a little impatient with you.
I just say I'd rather not die. You know how this will end if they catch me.
Well, then just don't get caught.
That's what the spells are there for. Don't get caught. Hey, I bring the fun. I'm gonna scare them off. Hopefully.
We don't want them to be scared, just frustrated and
Well,
leave.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I will take. Sorry, I was just checking one spell.
So after about 4 hours, the pixie starts coming by and says, "Are you ready yet?"
An hour, an hour, an hour, an hour, an hour, an hour.
20 minutes later, "Are you ready yet?"
Soon, after those patients definitely being tested.
10
I try
minutes.
to distract him.
10 minutes later, "Are you ready yet?"
Doesn't that produce a delay every time they interrupt him?
No, it's once I lose my trail of thought, then I can no longer memorize spells. So I'm trying to focus as best I can.
Come
They,
on. Why are you so
almost.
slow? We want to go have
It
some
was what
fun.
it's what you put in that drink. I had too much. It made me a bit slow.
Well, that's just
So
silly.
I try to use my charisma to delay, hopefully, long enough to get my spell.
Okay.
I've got a good charisma reaction adjustment. It's like plus.
3.
It's +3, +5. I got +3, I think. Yeah, +3. Should be quite likable.
So at the 5 hour mark, he's just
All right.
like tugging on you. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's
All
go,
right,
let's
I'm
go.
done.
Let's
I'm
go.
done.
Hurry up, hurry up.
After stretches.
Come on, let's go. Let's have some fun. You're so boring. Come on.
Hey. All right, we're going.
So this time you can
They have
tell that there's
no
a
patience for the spellcasters in their community.
no. I mean, it helps that most of them don't need to be. Uh, They have some of their own powers. So
I will convey to him as I'm walking along. I have a spell that allows us to talk mentally, if you wish. We don't need to actually speak out loud.
no, that's no fun.
How fun? Okay.
That's no fun.
Maybe I could talk to them. Talk in their heads.
I mean, you could try it. That would be
Might
weird.
work.
But I wouldn't be able to see what had happened. That's no fun. This needs to be fun. Let's have fun.
All right, as I go along, I go on about another spell, a babble spell that confuses their ability to talk. I got the reverse of tongues.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Especially if they can't communicate with each other.
So,
I'm just running down like a game plan where I got like a snare spell, so you can tie one up.
oh, this pixie has absolutely no game plan whatsoever, and
All
and
right,
seems
wingman.
completely uninterested in planning.
Oh, spontaneous one.
I mean, you're talking about pixies.
Yeah.
So
Lafdul's
he leads
limited
you.
experience.
He leads you out of the glade, through some more mist and fog, and out into the forest. At this point, it is close to noon, and you carefully, quietly make your way back to observe the camp. You can tell that there's a few other pixies with you this time. Like, you realized
Oh, I got
after the
audience.
fact. You realized after the fact that there were others that were watching you, but this time you actually are aware of them being around.
I'm
A
gonna
couple of them make
cast
some noise this time, kind of thing.
Because I know the spell lasts a little while. I'm casting tongues on myself to pick up on what's that? Whatever language they were speaking, like an indicator. I don't have to know it word for word.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna need to check to see if you need to be like in visual range of them or something. Hold on.
I just got to know. I can choose a language. Because I also memorize tongue and babble. That's 2 of my 4th level spells. Considering I couldn't understand them, I figured if I could understand them, it might give me an edge.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you can indicate the language that those creatures were speaking.
All right, now I'll cast. What's the duration on that? I think it's a while. Oh, a turn. Not that long.
Yeah. No, it is really not that long. It is very much I am just getting into a quick conversation with these guys kind of thing, or not. I mean, not a super quick, but it's like I need, like it is one of the ultimate diplomacy spells, but it is very short term. So you might want to save that until a point where it might be relevant.
I'm gonna hopefully sneak in. I want to attempt to cast Ascension's Feast. Hopefully, whenever they seem to be preparing a meal, maybe their afternoon, midday meal or something.
Okay. So you get within sight of the camp, and you can definitely see that they have set up a watch and guards. And there's a couple more individuals in the camp as well. You guess that they were probably out hunting when you last visited, and they just like brought everyone back into the camp.
Oh, there's a whole army of them now.
Not a whole army, but you are looking at about 16 of the smaller ones, the crow individuals, versus the like 12 there were before. Give me an intelligence check, please.
14. Let's go.
There you go.
Someone.
With your observations the day before and on this day, you think what is going on is that this is like a hunting camp, and basically they set up camp, they hunt until it is too difficult or annoying to find food in the immediate area, and they pack up and go somewhere else. This seems like a semi-nomadic group. It doesn't have a permanent residence. So that's your guess based on what you see them carrying. They also do not seem to make like complex meals. You're not
they
seeing
roast things.
Yeah, they're roasting meat, and you're not really seeing like stew pots, kind of thing.
It's not like I can cast a sense feast and pour some salt on it or something.
I mean, you could definitely pour like you could try that on some of the like the roasting food and stuff like that.
Of course, it'll be casting a spell right in the middle of them, where they're all
Yeah, yeah.
which is not likely to work. These fairies want pranks. Oh, what happened?
I don't.
Oh, I think roll 20 just went out.
Oh.
Refreshing.
So yeah.
Right.
So you get within sight and get that quick, overview, and then the pixie says, "What should we do? What should we do first? Let's have some fun."
I want to plant some creepy crawlies in some of their goods. Either are any of them sleeping?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them sleeping under some very crude lean-to tent type things, but most of them are awake.
Could I? I was thinking about freezing some water with my dagger of ice and fire and putting some ice down their back or something. That would creep them out. Sorry, one second. I'm just looking at my spells. Spells, so many spells. How far away am I from the group?
40 to 50 feet.
And that screech was more like a stunning thing. I wouldn't realize if that's what happened last time. I didn't realize I cast out, and obviously when I was stunned, because I couldn't hear myself, but I obviously audibly cast out when if you fail the check.
It was like you feel like if you had been right in the sound of it, it would have deafened you, kind of thing. Like if it had been directed right at you, kind of thing. Not stunned, but deafened.
Alright, sorry, I'm just checking the duration of silence 50-foot radius. The duration is 2 rounds. Alright, I'm going to cast silence. I'm going to go a little bit far away. I'm going to cast silence 15-foot radius. I'm going to put it. I'm getting paralysis thing. You got too many choices.
Well, start with something simple. Like you can always have the like if there's a little thing like you want to do, like if you wanted to drop one thing, like if you had a single ice cube, your dagger would have a difficult time making an ice cube. Like the fairy could carry that and just drop it on someone or something like that, or
put
toss
it down their back.
That's a little bit more because that's like like you got to pull the shirt back, put it down. That's someone's gonna be very obvious. Like that's gonna be very obvious. But if it was just like put something into their like under the corner of their blanket, like a bug or something, like you can give him a little task to do, and he'll go do it, as long as it's not a big thing, or like drop a chunk of ice from the sky and fly off kind of thing.
No, some creepy crawlies and some shoes. That they've obviously, do they wear shoes? I assume some of them wear shoes.
All of the small ones have bird feet.
What about the bigger ones?
The bigger ones are humanoid, so they do have, but they're more like sandal type things.
Well, they might have clothing or something. You put creepy crawlies and
Oh,
like,
they all have
field
like
satchels and
they
stuff.
all have like robes and stuff, but and they have
Alright,
satchels and things like that. But it's more like, I mean, if you had a spell that would generate something or something like that.
No, we'll have to get some creepy crawlies.
I mean, you can't carry
Alright.
that much, so like.
No, you know, a couple of like centipedes or something. You
Mhm.
know, they might find it as feed. They're birds.
That's true.
Different
They might.
anatomy.
Yeah, they might.
Well, I'm gonna cast snare somewhere because it would be funny to lure one into a snare
Okay.
and they'll be stuck somewhere because I can tie it to a tree and it's camouflaged.
All right.
Well, I'll pick out an area that either a guard is walking. Is there like a patrol route?
No, they've got guards like facing out with spears, so they're not actually like patrolling. They're just like on the edge of the camp. I mean, it's daytime now, so it's not a big deal.
Is there an opportune area that I can place a snare that I could lure them to potentially?
Possibly.
All right, then I go find out and I cast snare there.
Okay.
Is
that touch based?
I'm casting it on the tree.
Right, but is it touch based or does it have a range? Do you have to touch the thing, or like the thing that you're creating where you're creating the snare?
Touch.
Okay.
So I will have to get fairly close. I don't think I would break invisibility if I had invisibility up.
No. This will not do that. Do you want to put invisibility up?
Babel would break it, I would assume, because it ruins communication.
Yeah. Do you want to put an invisibility up? Do you want to invoke your invisibility?
Not yet. I'm going to try to be stealthy, put the snare up.
Alright, what is your move silently and hide in shadows?
Hey, of being stealthy. 80 and 60. 80 moves silently, 60 moves hide in shadows.
Okay. Alright. Okay. You try to stealthily move around. About how far away from the edge of the camp do you want to set this snare up?
And I had a vague idea of how far they were ranging at when they were searching, right?
Alright, so when they went chasing after the sounds you made before they were called back, they had begun to get to, like, 60, 70 feet kind of thing. When they were ranging out, they were being slow and cautious and like sticking their spears into every bush and stuff like that, and around trees and trying to hit like hidden. Yeah, they were trying to be methodical. So it was not very fast. So again, like the rushing thing, if you could lure them into rushing in the direction of the snare, you could do that. Like that was at least 60, 70 feet before they got called back.
Alright, yeah, I'll try and go within like 50, 60 feet.
Okay. Alright. So you find a likely place and cast a snare spell. As far as you can tell, you have not been noticed.
That's always good. I mentally keep notes of that area. I want to... sorry, I need to check this range on the telepathy. There's no way to hide. It says it can be used to taunt someone, but I'm just wondering, can I make myself benign enough that they wouldn't notice me? Not elf, I guess. I don't know. Could I...
You have no idea what they would consider benign, though. That's the problem. Other than maybe them, their own race kind of
If
thing.
I made like random noises in their head, because that would still be communicated. That could be in anything or weird or be freaked out by it.
Let's see.
I don't have to say a worded communication or anything. Oh no, I could do. I'm just looking at the range of it.
So no, see the thing
Oh.
is like it allows you to communicate regardless of whether you share a common language. So you're not communicating in concrete sounds. You're communicating in ideas and concepts and stuff like that. So I don't think that you could make like try to make it as
Wow.
if they heard a scream in their head. It would be more like you would be telling someone you just heard a scream in your head, kind of thing.
Could I do it in such a way as like look behind you or something, and make them look behind themselves?
I mean, you could definitely tell them to look behind themselves. Whether they would do it or not, you're not sure.
Yeah, because I could convey things like I'm watching you, scare and speak. Oh no, they weren't happy. The fairies weren't happy. They want to see stuff.
So, I mean,
wanna...
like, yeah, you can communicate to them, look behind you or that kind of thing. Absolutely. What you can't do is, like, have a scream in their head, because what that will come off as is as if someone just said, you heard a scream in your head. Like, there's a difference between you telling someone you just heard a scream and you actually screaming, or you just heard me scream kind of thing, The communication would be the former. You can't make the scream. You can tell someone that you just screamed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. But if you want to tell them to look behind them or say, I'm watching you, or, stuff like that, yeah, absolutely, you can do that. That's no problem.
I think it's fun. So I'm really struggling with this. And no,
Well, as always, keep it simple.
Yeah, no.
And remember, you don't have to use spells. You can like, if you want to scream, you could go like climb up the tree and scream and see what they do, and then go someplace else and scream again. I mean, you're not limited to your spells. And if you want the fairies to do something like throw nuts at them or something like that, you could do that too. I mean.
I want to lure them over to the snare because that'll distract a majority of them.
Okay.
But I just need to check if Babel stays in the area. I think communication in the area is confused. So yeah, no, lure them into the snare. Have the Babel up. They go there. None of them can communicate with each other. They all struggle to, understand what's going on. It'll be a right mess. And then I could do like plant growth and then entrap them in some shrubbery.
Okay.
Just more showy, visually things.
All right. How would you want to lure them over to the snare?
Trying to think.
You don't have the ventriloquism non-weapon proficiency, do you?
No. I was wondering if I could take a form of some kind of prey animal or something. No, I'm not about to suffer anything. I would just have to do it by noise or something. Is there anything that indicates that they were hunting snakes or anything?
You don't see any evidence of snake hunting.
I'll just see if I can pique up their interest and just use my ring of telepathy to lure them over to that area.
You mean telekinesis?
Yeah, telekinesis.
So like rustle bushes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to climb a tree, or do you want to hide behind a tree and bushes, something like that? What do you want to do? How do you want to hide yourself?
Well, climbing trees tend to be very visible, right?
You're a
Makes
little
a
bit
lot of
farther
sway.
away. Like at the point that you were initially thinking about it, they were coming out of their camp in a very methodical manner, and some of them were coming in your direction.
My ring of telekinesis has, I believe it's at 9th level. It can cast at 10 yards of level, so 90 yards.
Yeah, but you're more limited by your. I mean, visibility isn't that far. Unless you climb up a tree. If you climb up a tree, it might be.
I can try to climb up a tree, I guess.
Okay.
Try to do it stealthily if I take my time, because at that moment I'm in not too much of a rush.
All right. Go ahead and give me a climb walls check.
Yay for climbing and silent timer. Move silent. 50. That's pretty low, but climbing a tree should be easy. Oh, I don't know why I've rolled 100. Yeah, well, my score is 50.
Well, that's not a D100. That's you just rolled 100. It's always going to be 100.
Oh, yeah. I'll do it this way instead. Does that roll? It should roll.
Okay. Yep. I do
Barely.
see it. All right. So you position yourself like on the other side of the tree, away from them, and begin scrambling up. And so again, you would not have needed to roll a climb walls if you didn't care if they heard or saw you. It wouldn't be that easy.
I am trying to be stealthy.
Yeah.
So.
That's why you needed the climb walls check. And you do manage to get up into a bush, up onto a thick, sturdy branch that you can stand on or sit on, and direct your ring towards some bushes around where you set the snare spell.
Yeah,
and you just want to have it like have the bushes like rustle as if there was an animal in there.
Yeah, to lure them over to hopefully one of them might spring the snare.
Okay. Is there a saving throw or anything to avoid the snare? Like how does it determine if it affects someone?
1 second. It's 90% undetectable without magical aid. So it blends in, so it's camouflaged. If it's tied to a tree, it's a lot stronger. Which I've been a forest, so that would have been easy to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for unique things. No, it's just until there's no saving throw. They just either see it or they don't, and they get affected by it. There is obviously things that happen once if they are affected, and I can go through that.
Let me pull up the spell and take a look.
It says it does cause damage like 1d6, but I am hoping that's not enough to kill them. I mean, maybe one of the little ones, but...
Let's see.
I assume there'd be like water vines or something.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And that can like snare around them and like snare up with a tree, pull them up or something.
Okay. All right. So you start rustling the leaves, and it takes a few minutes for them, for anyone in the camp to notice it. But then there's some sort of conversation going on, and one of the creatures starts carefully moving towards the sound, spear at the ready, poking at bushes as it goes, and clearly wondering if they're like anticipating an ambush. You're just going to continue to rustle the bushes.
Until he falls for the snare.
Okay.
I make it look like it's moving around a little bit, trying to be a little bit enticing to cause them to move over.
All right. Because you said he was, you were moving the rustling enough. Otherwise, I was going to have him stop like right outside of the snare range and poke the bushes. But because you're moving it around, He does step
You know,
into
like a
the
cat.
snare. Yeah.
You pull it a little bit away.
And there is a sharp snapping sound as it wraps around. It wraps around a foot and yanks him up into the air. He lets out a loud squawk. His spear goes flying into onto the ground.
I try to quickly cast Barbel in the area, so all their communication is completely ruined.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, as that's happening, because as he's lifted up and he lets out this loud squawk, a few, a bunch of the others
Because even
start
if he
rushing over.
does realize that I cast a spell and he does realize where I am, he won't be able to communicate that because language is lost to him.
So the way that Babel works is that it's like you're thinking in your head, "Hey, can you come help me?" But it comes out as like gray blue bird
Orange straight road.
Eat fruit kind of thing, like it's just completely different, and nothing you can do will correct it. You're thinking fine, but it just comes out as gibberish. But I mean, he just got like he's surprised and stunned, and they're rushing over to help him. So you cast Babel in the area, and there is a considerable amount of squawking as their communication is disrupted. They're extremely confused, and this is going on for a few minutes, so you have time to do something else if you want. As like they're very confused. They're in the area. Some of them have come over. They're at ones outside of the area, like
could I
that don't know what's going on either because the sounds coming out of the area are confused. So what do you want to do?
I want to. Sorry, I'm just thinking it would just be funny if I were to. Because this is going to be a bit obvious. I'm going to attempt. Then, if they might start pointing at me when this gig's up, but I will. Am I still hidden, even though they can't?
As far as you know.
Alright, I will attempt to cast Plant Growth to make a maze and entrap them in.
Alright.
Can they fly?
Yeah.
How far away are they?
You climbed a good, 50 feet up.
I assume bird creatures could fly.
Yes. You're pretty sure they can fly.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So you're gonna plant growth?
Wait, hang on.
To entangle them, right?
I am going to... I'm going to outer self to grow some wings. Because I might have to fly away invisibly, or try to anyway. This is kind of like if I need to let go of the tree and I need to fly away, I need to be able to fly away.
Okay.
So I'll outer self first, grow some aerial wings, I guess. Because I won't be able to shrink myself down. It probably will affect my stealth a bit, I don't know. So that spell's gone, and that spell's gone. Wait. Oh, never mind. No, it's fine.
Okay.
I've done it. Alright, so now I will... do I know if my visibility will be broken by a plant growth spell?
Yeah, it would be.
Alright, well, I attempt to cast plant growth and to make a hedge maze to freak them out a bit. Like as if nature's rising up against them or something, I don't know.
Alright. So right after you get wings, the pixie says, "You do have wings! Why didn't you have them before?"
I don't, normally. This is something I'm granted.
Oh, okay. So then you start causing the plants to grow up around them, and it has an entangle effect, right?
No, that's spiked growth. I don't. Wow, that's if you're trying to go through the plant. No, plant growth.
Doesn't plant growth have like a higher level entangle effect? Isn't that like one of the ways you can use it?
No. You can use it like a hedge mage. Spite growth is like an entangle that causes damage. It slows them down and damages them. But plant growth doesn't, not when you're doing a hedge mage.
Okay.
I'm just boxing them in to add to the mystique of, something's awry, I guess. Trying to do things differently.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep. I'm just checking to see if there's saving throws or anything against that.
Well, I'm not casting it at them. I'm casting it around them.
All right. Okay, so the plants all grow up around them, like cutting them off from each other, creating a maze, and there's even more squawking now. And the pixie next to you says, "Oh, that's great! Oh, they can't find each other. They might be able to fly though."
Yeah, they might be able to. I will double down on this spell, and I will cast Entangle in the area.
Okay, all right. That does get saving throws, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All of these like hedge maze walls and everything like that start reaching out and grabbing them and wrapping around them. There's even more squawking, and you can hear the two humanoid ones back at the camp shouting at them very loudly. You'd guess it's like trying to get them to respond properly, like with intelligently, to figure out what's going on, trying to give them orders. There's a few still back at the camp that are like looking at them and looking at what's going on and clearly not knowing what the heck is going on.
I will cast one final spell, and I will cast Fairy Fire to make them all glow.
All right.
Just to mess them all up.
There are shouts of more squawking, more surprise. Like they're definitely not liking what's going on.
I will make myself invisible afterwards.
Okay, that's good because a few of them did seem to notice you, and you
and that's why I have the wings, so I can fly away a bit.
You have to basically leap away as a few arrows thunk into the tree around you. You're pretty sure they wouldn't have hit anyway, just from your invisibility. They were kind of wild shots. But
I don't have my dex, but I would have my armor.
Yeah. The pixie says, "Ah, that was wonderful. Wait, what else can we do?"
If I can, I'm invisible and I'm flying.
Yeah.
I'd say if I can sneak into their base, I can try to ruin some of their weapons.
There's a lot fewer there in the camp. There's like 5 of them, 3 of the small ones, and the 2 tall humanoids with red faces and long noses.
While I'm up in the... I'm just trying to think, up in the air.
Well, warp wood is just range, right? I mean,
I believe I might have
you don't
to
need
touch.
to. I don't think you need to touch with that.
But this would definitely be the same in hostile act if I'm casting it at someone who's holding a weapon. If I cast it on the ground where it's like a bunch of stuff is just stored, then
there's plenty of weapons around, bows, arrows.
So I'm looking for a store of like weapons and stuff to cast warp wood to ruin them.
Let me check the area of effect on that.
I think it's just a bunch. I don't know, 10 yards a level.
Yeah, so you could like just land in another tree and cast it. You don't have to like get down into the camp.
That's the range. It affects. It doesn't affect. I think I'm only going to get like 1 or 2 weapons at most.
Let's see.
1 inch diameter per level. That's a first level caster might be able to walk hand over an axe or 4 crossbow bolts. At 5th level, you could do a spear. I just hope for a couple of bows or a couple of spears. Something that's harder to replace. I assume a bow would be easier to replace than I don't know. They just take the... Yeah. I'll do the bows. Some ranged weapons, I guess. They'd probably inconvenience them more than a melee.
So, I would also say, yeah, so, you could probably... Wait, what level are you again?
9. My cast level.
Yeah, so you could get, like, 2 spears or a whole ton of arrows.
I get a whole ton of arrows, I guess.
Okay. So they have a few quivers there, and you go ahead and warp them all. They won't, like, that's gonna just... That's not terribly obvious until they try to use them, because they're all in quivers and stuff. But one of the humanoid figures does appear to have heard you casting that spell up in the tree, because he does point up at you and start shouting at the others.
He probably can't understand them.
No, they're outside of the Babel area.
Oh no, I can just fly off to another area.
Okay.
So I'm invisible still.
Alright, so you flap over to another tree while one of the crow creatures tries to fly up towards you. He does not seem to have noticed you flying away. So you do manage to get to a different tree. Anything else that you want to do?
I want to see if I can go down to the ground level, because I need to get myself a new holy symbol. So they volunteered for new holy symbol duty.
Okay.
I should have done this a long time ago. This is long overdue.
You God understands, don't worry.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, what can I nick out of camp?
I mean, there's tons of personal items and stuff like that. Some utensils, knives.
Is it like a charm or something? You know, like a good luck charm, hunting charm.
There's some pieces of cheap jewelry. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
but that tends to be worn. Like,
you know, like you have like dream catchers on like tents and stuff, or like where you sleep. I'm just looking for like something like that I can snag.
There are some things that appear to be made out of thin cloth or paper. They're rectangular and they're dangling by twine, and they seem to have some sort of crude writing on them.
Can I attempt to snag one off, cut it off,
sure,
or something? Attempt to pickpocket it, I guess. An object. It's whether or not I get noticed.
All right. What's your move silently again?
Move silently. 80.
Okay. You do manage to sneak in and cut one off and take it. It is cloth. It's not terribly durable. Yeah. But if you're careful, it'll survive.
Yeah. No stray fireballs, Solas. So end badly for me. Well, you gotta take a risk every now and again to have a fragile holy symbol. I'm in the middle of their like camp thing.
You're on the edge.
Well, the edge. I'm just trying to think if there's something I can do. What do I see around me in camp? Is there like?
It's messy and disorganized. There's a pair of campfires with some meat cooking over it right now. Probably gonna get burned because you've distracted them.
That's good. Can I use my ring of telekinesis to unsettle it to make sure it does fall in the fire? It would be an obvious distraction. They'll be distracted by them food falling in.
You could definitely use your ring of telekinesis to like jostle it so that it immediately falls in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So there's some sparks as the what appears to be a game bird of some sort on a spit just collapses and falls into the fire, and there's sizzling sounds and everything like that. One of the
It might not be that focused on it.
One of the creatures squawks and rushes over to it, but the humanoid one of the two humanoids kind of shouts at it and waves it off. Says, you kind of pick up, that doesn't matter right now, kind of sentiment.
Alright, Oh. This is way too risky. I
mean, you can always run, remember. I mean, like, if you get into a situation where you...
No, I've got Dictate memorized, and I thought, I wonder if I could just make them just do something stupid.
You have no idea if they know your language, though.
Yeah, that's what I use the tongue spell.
Oh, okay.
To overcome that. Plus, they're the ones that screech and stun you, don't they?
The two humanoid ones, yeah.
Yeah. I know casting silencing on someone would silence them. I'm just wondering how much more I need to do to impress the fairies. I know I've done a lot, or at least I think I have.
Well, if the idea is to get them to move away, then you probably need to make sure that they move away. I mean, that doesn't necessarily, like, it may be that you do enough and then come back the next day to see if they've moved on.
Alright.
Like, right now, most of them are entangled. They can't move away until that's...
No, that's what I mean.
That's taken care of, so...
Are there any berries around in their camp that they might have picked recently? I'm wondering if I cast Barberry on them.
There's
probably would be a hostile act.
There is a bucket of or like a small basket of some collected fruit and nuts.
Yeah, I might try and convey that the area is like really bad. It's poisonous. It's causing them harm.
Is that touch based?
I believe it might be. This is a reverse. It's range touch, yes.
Okay, so you'd have to get up even closer to the figures.
Can I cast... Alright, no, I go a little bit back. I cast a silence 15-foot radius. I put it on my... something, a dagger, or, something that I can put in my pouch.
They will instantly know if you come into the area with that, because...
yeah, I know. No, this is for running away.
Okay. Alright, so you do that.
So once I've cast, the bad berries, I pull that out, make my getaway,
okay.
while not being stunned by the screech.
Alright.
Or deafened, rather. Alright, now, so yeah, I will cast that, put it in one of my pouches. A pouch, not...
Then sneak back in and cast Badberry?
Yeah, on the things.
Okay.
So I assume the other spells are going to start wearing off as well. So the Babble only lasts a turn.
Okay, you sneak in and begin casting Badberry, and yeah, one of them immediately does hear you and starts moving over towards it. You do get the spell off.
Can I pull out the thing?
Give me a dexterity check.
I'm good at those dexterity checks. Don't think anything, Lava.
There might be a penalty. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, that's good enough with penalty. You do tumble back as it sweeps its folded up feather fan at you, and you realize that as that sweeps by you, you're tumbling back, pulling this object out, that would have cut you if it hit. Like, those feathers somehow are very sharp.
I got the tumbling check as well.
No, it was just
it was.
Yeah, but this was not. I mean, like you have tumbling, but that's the effect of your whatever retcon's poking Lafdul as he throws dice. That was the description of you succeeding with the dexterity check.
But I want to try to get out of dodge now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your invisibility has dropped.
Oh well. Now lessons learned.
Mm-hmm. And you're so what are you gonna do to escape? Just run, book it, because you do have big wings on your back right now. Remember.
Oh, if I'd known my invisibility had just dropped, then I might. It'd just be initiative, wouldn't it, to see who gets the thing off first? Because he's in melee with me right now, yeah?
I mean, this is all supposed to not be a non-combat situation, so I'm not going to be doing that. Like, he heard you casting it, and so he was coming over to sweep at empty air when you appeared, and the dexterity check was to see if you could pull out.
I'll try my luck. I will. Actually, no, I've not got. No, I'll see if he understands me. He might not understand me. I'll try it in common.
You pulled out your silence 15-foot radius thing.
All right, I will just try to get away then. I guess.
Okay.
I might grab out an invisibility potion and drink that at some point. Obviously, I might be attacked, but hey.
Are you going to rush into the trees and try to hide, or what?
Yeah, I'll book it into the trees.
Okay.
I'm pretty fast.
So,
I'm not trying to outfly them because I know they're faster.
Yeah. So, as you're like rolling back, you toss a look back, and you see it open its mouth, and you realize that you've gotten like you're now like 20 feet away when it does this, and you can see like the edges of the tent that you were right by vibrate, but you hear nothing.
Yay for being prepared. It probably looks quite frustrated at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's given me time to get away and hide.
Okay. Do you want to take your potion, or are you just going to try to hide in shadows?
I will try my luck and sneak away, going from bush to bush. Rely on good old-fashioned. I've got a bailout card if I need to use a potion.
Okay.
I will try my luck. Using silently going from bush to bush.
All right. So you duck into the bushes, maneuver through the trees, and try to place yourself hidden. You hear something, or you feel something brush your cheek, and you realize that the pixie is right next to you. And you cannot hear what he's trying to say to you.
Ow, I put the thing in. Ouch.
All right. You do so, and you hear, "See you now, but that was so much fun. Why? Oh, I can hear myself now."
Yeah, sorry, that was to prevent me from that creature screeching me to death. I've fought those creatures before.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why it took so long to get my spells. I'm sorry, but I had to play.
No, it's okay. It's fun now. It's been fun. We should probably hide. I think they're really angry.
I'm gonna hide, move from place to place.
All right, so he's prepared to guide you away from the the creatures. All right. So you two basically move very slowly because you're trying to hide, and at least for the next few minutes, you'll have giant wings on your back.
I can dispel magic now, if it's gonna make it harder for me to stealth. Yeah.
It's up to you.
How far away is anyone potentially near me? Because if I'm casting a spell, I'm already making myself known.
The humanoid figures are shouting, like they're definitely extremely angry, and they're shouting at others to like get out.
Oh,
You'd guess that it's like get out of those bushes and come search and stuff like that, but most of them are still stuck.
Alright, so I got a moment to dispel the wings, and I'll dispel the wings.
Okay.
Then I could probably move a little bit faster.
And the pixie
having big
says,
wings.
"Oh, your wings went away. I'm sorry."
It's okay. They can come back another day.
Oh, that's good. And you two kind of duck away and head back to the little pixie village. It's now like early afternoon, and you get a better look of at the pixie village now. And you can see, like, you wouldn't have noticed it just passing through this area. There are little like knot holes and stuff like that in the tree that are actually like doors and windows to little houses in the trees and everything like that. And little very well disguised structures up in the tree for more houses and things of that nature down in the tree roots, all that sort of thing. And they ply you with more fairy wine and mead and fruits and nuts and ask for more stories, and they have stories to tell you. They've got music instruments out, and they're playing, and like it turns into a good old party. And before you realize it, it is late. The sun is set. You have drunk way more than you planned.
I'm having a good time, so this is probably gonna have a start. Do I? I don't know if there's a spell that can cure hangovers.
If there is, you don't have it.
Oh, yeah, I don't think AuldDragon would allow that, other than a heal spell.
A heal spell would definitely do it, yeah. And you finally fall asleep.
Neutralize poison. Is it classed as poison? After a certain
Neutralize poison would probably take care of it, yeah. Well, I don't know if it would take care of the hangover. It might take care of the like the alcohol in you before you get a hangover. But
the
you don't
herbalism.
you don't have the kind of the wherewithal to think of that in the time, because you are definitely having too much fun telling stories, listening to stories, and things of that nature.
That's fine. I'm having a good time.
You don't really even remember falling asleep.
Yeah, I've been there, unfortunately.
And you wake up the next morning with just an awful hangover. And just like, oh, what did I do last night kind of thing. And you look around and you're not in the that little glade anymore.
Oh, I've been led astray somewhere. I've wandered off.
You're not exactly sure where you are.
Oh, fun. Have I just woken up in the middle of nowhere?
No, you've woken up in the middle of a forest.
Do I know anything about the legends of pixies and what they do to people?
Oh, absolutely.
Could I surmise that I've been left out, as it were, or something? I don't know.
Yeah. You can surmise what you want to surmise.
I'll pray for my spells.
Okay.
Wherever I am. If I'm able to. Or I might do a herbalism thing.
As you're doing so, you notice one of your pockets has has something in it that you didn't put in it. It's not one of your magical pouches. It's in one of your pockets.
Oh, what's that?
You pull it out, and it's a leather pouch, a finely crafted leather pouch. It would be a big sack for a pixie, but for you, it's a small pouch. And opening it and looking inside, it's filled with dirt.
Oh, I wonder if that was AuldDragon.
You're pretty sure it was not AuldDragon.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you do not feel like you've been visited by your deity.
What I mean is, no, that's fine. Would I have conveyed at some point that I wanted the dark?
Nope.
It's just happened for some reason.
It's useful for other things. How much do you need for your spell?
It says a pinch at a time after careful negotiation of sorting out some pranks that the Sylvan's devising.
You're pretty sure that this is worth 30 pinches.
Oh, wow. A lot more than I thought I would have. Oh, cool. Yay, I can cast Pixie Dust now. One of the best spells in D&D, in my opinion.
Was there anything else that you wanted from the pixies?
I might have conveyed some things that Finn was vaguely interested in about treants, what's happening in the area. I might have mentioned about do they have any religious, not religious, storytelling about a wounded warrior and stuff like that? Because I know it's like part of the group process. I'm wondering if I would have learned anything. I might have maybe not focused intentionally mentioning it, but I might have mentioned something.
You do recall that there was a story about a noble fairy warrior who sacrificed himself in the face of a whole cluster of intelligent giant spiders to save a whole bunch of other fairies. But the details have kind of been lost in your drunken haze.
Let's go.
All right, so you're able to get your spells back, and
now I've got locate objects and stuff just in case I get lost.
Now you gotta figure out how to get back to at least something that you know.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the range on locate object because I'm not useless in the forest, but I wasn't exactly paying attention. I'm just looking for something that Finn would have on his person at some point.
You're also
Plus, if this is
pretty
midday,
sure
he wouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's now midday. Yes. You're
So
also pretty sure that you didn't travel completely physically in wherever you went to wherever that pixie led you.
Oh.
You think you traveled by some magical means that fairies know.
That's cool. Now Lafdul will forever be pondering that mystery until he gets wiser, I guess.
So what do you want to do to try to get back to either the camp or the village or something else that you might know?
When I was flying over in the ship with Finn, there must have been landmarks or something towards the village.
You could climb up a tree.
Get up to the top. If I climbed up a tree and just look around.
All right.
See if I see anything familiar.
Give me a climb walls check. This is simply to make sure that you are able to get all the way up to the top. It'll be very easy.
But you never know with Lafdul. Climb walls.
Give me a d20, please.
I got tumbling.
Yeah.
Should I roll that instead?
No, give me a d20.
I'll see the great or terrible.
Okay, so the good news is that your hangover really messes you up. But the good news is that it was right away. You fell 10 feet.
Oh. Out of 200 feet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, Lafdul's making sure he's got his ring of regeneration on. Worst case scenario. Alright, is Lafdul still feeling a bit drunk? Is he? Well, now I'll try.
You've got a really bad hangover. Yes.
I'm splashing my face with water in my attempt to wake myself up a bit.
All right. Give me another climb walls check.
Sir, I've got this. I've done with worse. I've faced dragons. This tree will not overcome me.
Okay. So you do manage to get up to the top of the tree and look out. You're pretty sure you're somewhere in the forest that you landed in. You can see the mountains at the top of the slope. If you were higher, that might help you in terms of like being able to determine like
I've
how
got
far
out
away
of
you are.
self again. I could just fly up a little bit higher.
You'd have to fly up a lot higher, like at the height that your Spelljammer ship was,
Oh,
to try to
well,
like
that's probably not
see where the location of that Druid
No, I'll
village
just
was
have
and
to
stuff.
deal with what I've got and hope I can.
Do you want to
Another
try to get to
aspect.
the Druid village, or do you want to try to get to where your camp was with Finn?
I'll try to be methodical and as to not get lost, but try to find my camp first. You know, keeping like arranging.
So I mean, here's the thing: is like the forest is on a slope, so you know what is upslope and what is downslope.
All right.
Now the question is, which which way do you go? Do you want to try and go back? Like, the way you left camp, downslope was on your right and upslope was on your left. So do you want to like go back as if you got left maybe in the same place that the ferry led you, as opposed to like on the other side?
I'm gonna hope that there might be something of the campsite left. Do we know what kind of tents we both use? Finn, would we be sharing a tent, or would we have our own thing? Because I have a my own like tarp, hang up tarp with a leather. What do you call that thing you hang between trees?
I mean,
Sleep on.
like just a tarp, I think.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he left that at camp. I'm wondering if I could use locate objects on that.
I mean, did you leave that at camp? You did not get an opportunity to like break camp or anything like that. So if you set up anything at the campsite, it would be there.
Yeah, no. No, I would have taken my camping stuff with me. I wouldn't have left anything. I don't think, to be honest.
You were
It's
just
whether or
like
not
out,
Finn left
but you
anything.
were just out in the forest, and the ferry was like, "Come on, let's have some fun."
Well,
You
I
did
wouldn't
not
have taken
say
my
anything
backpack.
about going back to the camp.
All
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
then I will
a
use
backpack,
locate
sure.
objects on my tarp thing.
Okay, what's the range on that?
60 yards plus 10 yards of level. So, but it lasts 8. Well, we got this confused. It didn't last 8 hours. It was when you're obscuring it, was 8 hours.
I think it's around.
I don't know how. Yeah, I'd have to check. I might have out my cat sheet. Okay, object. Around the level.
Yeah. So, all right, you cast
9
locate object
rounds.
and set out
See
so
if-
that the downslope is to your left and upslope is to your right. That's essentially going back the way if you got left where you met the ferry or around there, that would be back towards the direction of the camp.
Yeah, I'd hope.
Okay. Locate object runs out before it finds your tarp. You have just the one?
I probably would have memorized 2, but I doubt I would have done more than that.
All right. Do you want to cast a second one, or do you want to go further and
Yep,
see?
I will cast the second one.
Okay.
That's my 2 locate object spells.
That runs out before you...
Well, good old-fashioned method of trying to find your way back in the forest.
All right. What do you want to do? Just keep heading in that direction and hope that you come across something?
Yeah.
Okay. How long are you going to travel?
For like 4 hours.
Okay.
Then backtrack 4 hours or something.
All right. You travel for a couple hours, and you do spot not exactly a landmark, but you do spot a rock sticking out of the floor of the forest that you do recognize, and you were able to then get your way back to camp.
Yay.
Just as
Not hopelessly
evening
lost.
is rolling in. That, I think, is going to be another day of what Finn was working on. So, Finn, in that day, what would you have been doing?
So the first thing I was going to do after memorizing some spells is cast Messenger on a bird.
Okay.
That did cross my mind as well.
And I'm going to send it to the Druids with a note attached informing them about the fungus and that I might need some help dealing with it.
Okay. All right.
Then I'm going back to the fungus site.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Cloud of Purification.
Okay. All right. Let's see what that does. Now, the messenger spell, that's just, like, that just delivers the message and then it's up to them to respond to it?
So it enables me to call on a tiny creature of at least animal intelligence to act as my messenger, doesn't affect giant animals, blah, blah, blah. Creatures within range, priest using some type of food desirable to the animal's allure can call the animal to come. It's allowed a saving throw versus spell. If the saving throws fail, the animal advances towards the priest and awaits his bidding. Priest can communicate with the animal in a crude fashion, telling it to go to a certain place, but the directions must be simple. Spellcaster can attach some small item or note to the animal. If so instructed, the animal will then wait at that location until the duration of the spell expires, which is going to be 9 days.
Okay. And then it just delivers a message kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Cloud of Purification. So you bring into effect this cloud. I'm not gonna bother rolling a saving throw for that animal. There's no real point. And
Oh, you're turning it all into pure water. That's cool.
okay. Yeah. All right. So that begins to work. You see, like the thick log of the fallen tree, which is a couple hundred feet long, and within the area of the cloud, you do see it get very moist and water seeping out, and the ground at your feet is getting muddy as well. A lot of insects in the area are also like you hear them like kind of immediately transmute into drops of water, and splash down on the ground. Not all the insects, but like biting insects and stuff like that.
My goal was to at least get rid of the food source for the fungus.
I don't think that works on like just wood though. So the log is gonna stay there, but the stuff on it would.
Yeah, anything that's rotted.
Yeah. And let's see. Do you have any spells that you could use to push this cloud around?
Not really.
Okay.
Unless
Dust
I
Devil.
cast. Yeah, I was just thinking Dust Devil, or I think I can do Aerial Servant as well. Let's see. Faster just to go here.
Because a 20-foot cube is good, and it's going to do a lot of good, but it's not going to take care of the whole thing. You're pretty sure of.
I could probably cast Wind Servant.
Okay, Wind Servant. Let me take a look at that. Where is Wind Servant?
Wind Servant is in Spells and Magic, 3rd level.
I think that didn't get into the Priest Spell Compendium. Alright, hold on a second. I love it when I find those errors. 3rd level. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I will let that that move the cloud around. I don't know if I'd let it move every cloud around, but in this case, it's a good use, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you have that memorized to cast?
That one I did not memorize this time.
Ah, okay.
But I can always come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll say that today was a test to see how effective it was.
Yeah. You'd realize that that is effective and that would be also useful. The only other thing you might want to do is if you can have some way of getting to see if you can find like a central mass of the fungus underground to be sure that it's gotten rid of.
Mm-hmm.
If you have some method of doing that. But in the meantime, like this does do a lot of good, clearing up a lot of the fungus like that's on the surface in that area and that's in the log itself.
Okay.
And even though Lafdul isn't there, there is like you could use fire. He has an idea that you could always try.
Yeah, I thought of that too, but again, I don't want to burn down the whole forest.
Yeah.
I might convey some ideas when we meet up, but I don't know when that happens.
So might need a couple of days then. I might take another commune with nature instead of the cloud of purification tomorrow and just see if I can find that core.
Okay. You have anything
by being
else
closer to it?
Yeah. I mean, if you're at the site, that would definitely pinpoint it. Is there anything else that you have that you wanted to do on this day before you head back?
That's about it for today.
Okay. All right. So you'd probably also spend some time just studying the area and stuff like that, and just using the cloud of purification, surface-wise. It would take a number of castings of that spell without being able to move it around to clear that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is only a 20-foot cube, and you are looking at a significantly larger area.
Yep. But it does sink into any holes it finds.
Yeah.
So.
Which again, like if you could dig down into the ground to where the thing is and specifically get that cloud to sink down into there, that could be useful too.
Yeah. I just thought there is a dig spell, but I can't remember even what type of spell it is.
Dig specifically is a wizard spell.
Ah.
Don't think there's and Move Earth is also wizard. I don't think there's priest versions, unfortunately.
Well, let's see what I can find. Elemental Earth. Yep, nothing I have that's gonna get a hole in the ground for me there.
Okay.
Earth Maw is too quick.
Yeah, that would be. All right, so you head back to your camp.
Yep.
Okay. Would you have spent like all day just checking around and trying to figure out like what the extent of it is and things like that?
Yeah, see if I can figure out how much work it's gonna be.
All right. So you'd get back to a camp in evening to find Lafdul there.
Oh,
Hell. Boy, have I been on an adventure and a half.
I was gonna ask how your gallivanting went.
Pixies like leading you astray, that's for sure.
Don't say you weren't warned.
It was good fun. I got drunk. They
I
have
see.
some very potent nectar. I don't know what they do with it, but it's good.
I'm well aware.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you might be more in tune with that than me. How's well, I've got what I needed. I got some dirt. I went somewhere mysterious, I think. I'm not exactly sure. It's well beyond my purview. But I got what I was after. How's yours going?
I got some of what I'm after, and I'm working on the rest.
Yeah.
Small problem I have to deal with.
What's that?
A fungus that's killing part of the forest.
Oh,
If it's not checked, it will definitely spread.
well, the other druids are aware of that.
I've sent them a message.
Hmm.
I don't know if they've received it or not, but
What have you tried doing with the fungus? I mean, generally speaking, there's some alchemical formulas or to get rid of it, but neither of us are alchemists. And it'd be too small scale. I presume if you're
well,
explaining how that's big.
it seems that my cloud of purification works the best,
Oh.
but I can only do that once a day.
Have you did you indicate that you were struggling to find the fungus?
I probably would. I'd say I can get rid of it on the surface, but I can't find it below the ground.
Wouldn't a simple locate animal plant spell work for that? Is a plant fungus similar enough?
Possibly.
Give me a wisdom check, Finn. All right, that's a pass. So you give it some thought, and the problem with locate plant and animal is you're pretty sure it would work on a fungus, but the issue is that if this is all one single life form, which you know that sometimes like a mushroom coming up indicates there's just one fungus life form there, but it could be connected with all of the other mushrooms in the area as well. So you're aware of that. So if it was in that latter case, it would just basically be like, you stand there and it's like, you've located it. It's there beneath you.
Sonar pulse.
Yeah, perhaps another commune with nature would be better for that.
That's a shame. Could you not? Do you have powers over Earth? I've seen you do stuff. Could you not make it inhospitable by turning the mud into rock? It can't grow through rock. I mean,
I've seen funguses that can, actually.
Oh, well, I don't know how this fungus works. Oh, there's always a scorched earth tactic. I think you're against that idea.
If you want to risk the rest of the forest.
How's the deal with smoke? I mean, just like any plant life, if it's suffused in it for a while, it would just die, right?
Mm.
Oh, I've got a potion of digging, if you want to dig it out.
Well, now that sounds like an idea.
You have a
I'll
potion of
give
digging?
him a potion of digging. I've got... 1 second, I just got to find it. Potion of digging, steel jar. This. You dig it out, I guess. Ow, sorry. That might have been a bit loud.
Or at least get to it.
Oh, you can have it if it gets what you need, so.
Let me find this in my list. Hold on. I usually remember the at least have a vague memory of some of these items. This one is not one that I remember, which is not necessarily the case. Okay, all right, I found it. Oh wait, no, I did not. That's different. Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay. That could be useful. I mean, you don't know the exact effects of it, but if it does what it says on the tin.
No, you can use it if it'll help you do it.
All right.
Is there anything you think I mean, I'm done on my end, so I'll just be accompanying you. Should we move our camp closer?
Perhaps it's best to not be too close to this fungus.
Oh.
Just in case.
What if we were to detect... it's not like a disease, is it? Would you say it's a disease?
Maybe from the tree's perspective, but it's not like a traditional disease.
I was wondering if the detect disease would detect the type of disease it is. It might ring some bells with our herbalism law. I don't know. We're not fungalists or whatever you want to call them, fungal specialists.
Mycologists.
Yeah, that was the word.
You're a fun guy.
I mean, you're not sure if it would work. It definitely works on some forms of fungal diseases.
I might identify it though. I don't know. It's worth a try.
I mean, you can try it.
Oh, yeah, I'll take.
You definitely won't know how it works until you try it. We'll put it that way.
All right. Well, I'll still plan on doing the commune tomorrow anyway. Maybe if I do it from right on top of the area, I'll be able to see where it's concentrated.
Okay.
There was no signs of like creatures or anything around there, was it? That was causing it. Like an under dwelling mycelium folk creature or something. Maybe it's gone on the surface and gone rogue. I don't know. Maybe I'm...
Yeah. Until we find it, we won't know.
All right. So unless you had any other ideas, might be worth just getting some sleep and see in the morning.
Spells. Well, I'll have like detect magic, see if it's magical in nature. I doubt it, but it's worth rolling it out.
Okay. The next morning, Finn, you wake up to find a small. It's a bird, but it's a flightless bird. Looks like it's typically a digging creature, sitting there, and a little thing wrapped around its neck with a note attached to it.
Well, I will take the note and read it.
Okay. It is from the other druids, and they indicate that a druid will be able to arrive tomorrow to assist you. But most of their more powerful druids are currently like wandering the forest right now, and it will take time to get anyone
in the field,
of,
so to speak.
Yeah. But what they can do, or I mean, like in terms of the people who can come, but at the very least, this druid can like convey all the information that you've learned, the exact location, and they can take care of it if you feel you can't or don't want to or something like that.
Okay. Well, I'll at least give it a try first.
Okay. All right.
We've still got a few days, so.
Yeah. So after getting your spells rememorized, you two head down to the location of the fungus. Okay. What do you want to start with when you get there?
I'll start with the commune, because that takes a full turn to cast anyway.
Okay. Lafdul, while you're looking around, you're not as in tune with nature as Finn by any means, so you don't really see anything out of the ordinary here. There's a few more insects around, but that's about it that you really notice. I mean, this fallen tree, but trees fall kind of thing. So Finn, you do get your spell cast. What do you want to start by figuring out or by learning?
Facing the area with the blight, I would like to know if I can detect any concentrations of the fungus underground.
Okay. Yes, you can. It is about 20 feet down. There is kind of a central node of it with tendrils getting out everywhere.
Okay. Can I pinpoint the area where it's located?
Yes. Well enough that you could dig there or something like that.
I will call out to Lafdul and direct him to the spot directly above it and have him mark it.
All right, I'll find a stick, place stick, marker.
Okay.
Big stick.
Anything else that you want to learn, Finn?
General shape.
It has tendrils extending a fair bit further than you thought. You are
It's
not
trying to spread further.
Yeah. You're unsure if you take care of the central node, if like that will cause all of the tendrils to die, or if one of those can eventually turn into a new node or something like that.
Well, only one way to find out.
All right. Anything else that you want to know about as well?
I think that's about it for that.
Okay.
I know where the core of it is now.
All right.
I'm still going to rule that out with the detect magic and detect disease.
Okay.
Just to see if I get anything.
Starting with detect magic?
Yep. Let's see if it's magical in nature.
You're not detecting any magic in the nature other than what Finn cast.
Alright, it's not magical.
And then detect disease?
Yep. I don't think it's a certain chance of knowing. I think it's a percent. I will have to look the spell up. Give me a moment.
Yeah, please do.
Alright, detect disease.
Meanwhile, I think I'm going to use the potion of digging and start uncovering the central node.
Okay. So, as soon as you drink that down, you feel like your hands don't visibly change, but it feels like almost like claws, digging claws, like a mole's claws to you.
I found the spell.
Okay.
It's the spell reveals whether a creature or object carries a disease, including lycanthropy, memory rot, or magical disease, and whether or not the caster can cure the affliction. There is a 10% chance per level to correctly identify the disease. Failure results in no identification at all.
All right, 10% chance per level?
Per level, 90.
Okay. What you learn is that within each individual tree, This does count as a disease, and cure disease would cure the individual tree of that disease. It does not count as a disease in the ground, so you cannot use this on the node itself. It would take care of tendrils, though, near
I
trees
did
and stuff like
memorize
that.
one cure disease. I could experiment.
Yeah, you can cast that on one of the trees nearby.
I'll cast it on one of the trees to see if a visible difference. Because in case we get disease, that's why I took it.
Yeah. There are some mushroom growths, some like the plate-like fungus growths, and upon casting the spell and placing your hands on the tree, those just like disintegrate away into dust.
Oh, that works. It's a bit slow though.
Yeah, especially if it's only one tree at a time. But
Yeah.
if we can get rid of the central core,
It's clearing up the remnants.
perhaps the local druids can spend time healing the trees.
Yeah. All right. So you begin digging, Finn.
Yep.
Okay. It goes very easily. This spell or this potion, you realize, would allow you to dig at your normal walk rate through dirt, at least. Although it doesn't like shore it up around you. Because of that, you cannot dig straight down. You kind of have to dig like a cone to keep it from collapsing in on yourself.
I would dig like a stepped cone.
But you do get down to the down to this fungus core, and it is very unusual. It's unlike anything that you've seen before. It doesn't feel unnatural to you. It just feels bizarre, like a very rare creature, a very rare entity kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like magical or monstrous per se to you. Well, it might be probably considered monstrous, but not magical kind of thing.
Out of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call up to Lafdul to look away.
Okay. Lafdul looks up in the sky.
I'm going to pull out the Spear of Light.
Okay, before you do that, real fast, you've dug down to this, and this core has almost like a plate-like outer surface. There are tendrils coming out from between cracks in it and everything like that, but like as you're digging, when you get to it, it's like your hands scraped across metal, almost. Like it's not metal, but that's what it felt like when you touched it.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to take out the Spear of Light, and I'm going to emit a sunburst.
Okay.
With the head of the spear right over it.
All right. There is a bright burst of light all around you. By wielding it, you are protected against that, but as soon as that's gone, Lafdul, like you're looking away, closing your eyes, and even then, like you're still a little dazzled by the brightness. When you look, the tendrils have the visible tendrils have all are like wilting and disintegrating away, but that central core seems intact.
Okay. Well, that at least breaks it off of its tendrils.
But that's the visible part.
Yep.
Like you're pretty sure that the tendrils that were underground are still there.
Yeah, because they were protected from it.
Yeah.
But it still reduces it some. And I will have to come back tomorrow with a cloud of purification and see if that gets rid of it.
Okay. All right, so you're able to collect up some more sap, unless there's anything else that you want to do here.
I want to know, it was going to rain towards the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was like 9 days you predicted rain.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I know it was a long way off. So
Yeah, I
to
think
find some.
it was a good ways out.
We wanted to collect some. I wanted to collect some gold nuts at some point, so I wanted to see if I could find out where some trees are, so I know where to head for them when it does rain.
Okay, so I guess I would get another 2 uses of sap then.
You could, I suppose, on the way back, if you want to spend like an extra hour looking around to find those gall nuts, you could probably locate a spot.
Yeah, then I just have to wait till it rains.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You get back to camp and get some rest.
Yep.
Okay. You wake up the next morning and begin memorizing spells. As you're close to finishing up and getting some breakfast, a large bird alights on the ground near you and turns into a young male winged elf. And he
Well met.
greets you, Finn. You vaguely recall seeing him in the brief time that you were back at the Druid's village, and exchange pleasantries, and he introduces himself
Greetings.
as the Druid who will see what's going on. You kind of pick
Okay.
up that he's not particularly powerful, like third level kind of thing.
7th level.
Mhm.
Well, what level is shape change?
Oh, that's right. That's
Seventh?
that's right.
Can't do
That's
this, he's
right.
7th.
That's right. I forgot about that. I think there's a kit that can do that earlier though. Let me double check. Hold on. Hold on.
Actually, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
So he's that, basically.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Let's see. Druid kits.
He's not very powerful. He's at least got 4th level spells.
I think it was Beast Friend, maybe.
Maybe they have an item, who knows? Druids.
I mean, there's a kit for shapeshifter.
That might be the one. Yep,
Specifically,
they get their
named as
first
shapeshifter.
shape changing power at 1st level instead of 7th level.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There we go.
Mhm.
So he's that. He's that.
Okay. But he's limited to as many hit dice as he has. So
So I mean, it's a fairly standard bird of prey type creature. So.
yeah. All right, so I'll lead him out to the site,
All right, Lafdul, you going too?
explaining
good with-
what I'm planning to do to get rid of the core.
All right. So he tells you that they have encountered this before, but a wildfire ended up taking care of it. But they note that it was a wildfire that they created to take care of it, because that was like the only way that they could do it. So they exposed it and then started a controlled wildfire that didn't. It burned a considerable amount of forest, but not like an extreme amount. And I mean, overall it was healthy. It was like a wildfire that happened a decade earlier than expected, but kind of thing.
Well, as a last-ditch effort, I have dug out a pit around it. We could probably keep a fire contained inside there.
Yeah, the big thing is that they weren't sure if it could spawn off more from the other tendrils, so they wanted to try and make sure that the ground there was extremely hot enough to kill it off, and given the resources, that was all they could do.
Well, when we get there,
Mhm.
I will cast the Cloud of Purification and what was it, Wind Servant?
Yeah.
To guide it right down into where it is.
So you don't need the Wind Servant to guide it down in there. You can use the Wind Servant to move it around on the surface and like scour most of the like the exposed trees and stuff like that.
Yep.
As he's casting it, I am going to cast Idea.
Okay.
It might be something you might have overlooked, relating to this disease thing.
All right. You might want to wait until after you see what the effect of the Cloud of Purification is, because otherwise it's going to be like
Try that.
something like that, or I mean, like the idea might be you might need to get some more information first. See what the Cloud of Purification does. And you can use the Wind Servant to like push it out of the pit onto the trees if you wanted to do it that way. What do you want to do? Do you want to get it to clear up the trees and then sink down into the pit, or start in the pit?
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Okay.
I'll go around the trees first and then down into the pit.
Okay. So it leaves everything quite moist around, but you're pretty sure that you managed to cleanse the whole fallen log and its stump, as well as the trees around there, and then you cause the Cloud of Purification to sink down into the pit itself. That makes it very, very muddy, and that might make it difficult to get back down there safely. But as you watch, you notice that it does take care of the tendrils. It does not have an effect on that core. Now, upon, like, once it expires and you look at it, you're pretty sure it got all of the tendrils coming off of it. So it is cut off from all of its tendrils. Whether, exactly what the effect of long-term of that will be, you're not sure, but it is currently isolated because of that spell. But it did not take care of that core. That hard shell seems to be protecting it in some way.
Lafdul.
Yes.
Start picking up all the scrap wood you can find and throw it down in the pit.
Okay.
Anything that's fallen.
Only fallen stuff. All right. No shortcuts there.
I'll do the same, and hopefully the Druid will help us as well.
Yeah, he will. Now, you've got a fallen log there that has been eaten away by insects and fungus. So that is quite easy to break apart and get chunks. The problem is that all of the stuff immediately around is now damp.
Yep. I just want lots of flammable things down in the pit.
Okay.
Are you walling fire?
Yep. And then once we're done with that, I will cast Produce Fire on the pit.
Okay. Is that the second level, or is that the...
That's the fourth level one.
Fourth level, all right. Alright, so you produce fire and hurl the fire down in there. And it does slowly catch. But because of how wet the wood is, it takes a while to get it dried out and then slowly begin to spread.
Give it time.
Yep. I'll just let it cook.
It would also produce
I was
huge
thinking
amounts of
about
smoke.
Yeah, it probably will do. It's
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, it will definitely
Right.
produce a lot of smoke.
The
Because
Druids slowly make their way over.
Well, it's producing like a column of smoke, not like big rolling amounts of smoke. So it's pretty clearly being
Is this like
contained.
black smoke or white smoke?
it would be white smoke since it's
Flipping.
Mostly water vapor.
Yeah, water vapor.
It's not going to be super visible. I mean, it will be, but not as much.
Well, it's also not going to be super visible because you got 200-foot trees all around you.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Well, we'll just
Keep
keep this
forgetting
fire
that.
going for a while.
Okay. And you keep tossing more wood in, or do you want to let it burn what's in there?
Yeah, we'll keep tossing more wood in just to keep it going.
Okay.
Give it a good 8-hour burn,
Okay.
at least.
It's almost like he does this in real life. Roasting things.
All right. So 8 hours pass, and you let the fire die down, so you can get a better look at the core down there. And that hard shell seems to be protecting it. It is heavily singed. It is covered in soot. Might be cracked in a couple places, but it's hard to tell. But it did not burn itself.
Here's a thought. I've been wanting to try this out because I need to figure this out. I am going to get my rod of fire and lightning because I want to learn what the minor effect of the sunlight side is. I want to see what that does.
Okay.
I need to rule this out anyway, so it might be useful as a side effect. I mean, it's not the full effect, it's only the minor one, but I want to know what it does.
All right. Let's see.
It might just be like a sunburst or something. I think that'll be the last effect I need to learn from the rod then.
I am looking for it in my list. Where did I put it?
2 foot long rod, copper.
No, I know.
Tips.
I will also point out to the druid that if that fire didn't destroy this core, I don't know that your wildfire did either.
So he will tell you that he doesn't remember being informed that there was this hard shell on it. So he's wondering if there's something like that this is different. Maybe they caught it early or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But based on what he understood, this should have taken care of it. All right, so
Wondering if the next step is to try to crack that shell.
Lafdul,
Yeah,
you're gonna use that the minor sun power.
Yeah, I'll say here's a thought for trying. I need to figure out what this rod does on the sunlight side.
Okay.
I know fungus doesn't. Well, fungus and light don't mix.
Now this is the minor power, so keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
I'm saying I'm only trying the minor side, so it might not do much.
And it doesn't. A beam of bright sunlight lances forth from the rod, and targeting the core, and there's no visible effect. You would realize that matches a sun scorch spell.
Is that like the first level?
Mhm.
Finn, you got access to that, or is that when you have to learn?
I should have access to that one.
Yeah.
Well, there is a much more powerful sun spell.
Yeah, but that's also what Finn already tried.
Oh, he's got sunray as well.
He tried the spear.
Oh, I didn't realize it was sunray. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
That's
That's sunburst. He did. That was sunray is different.
I've got sunray on my.
But the fact that and sunburst is powerful. I think you'd conclude that at the very least this like the fire didn't work, not 2 sunlight powers didn't work. If they're going to work, then yeah, you probably need to crack that shell.
You just hack it with a sword, just see what happens.
Well, it's extremely hot right now, so.
I'll wait till it cools down. Well, that'll make.
Although I did memorize quench fire, so maybe I'll cast that.
Okay.
Because that's supposed to get rid of all the coals.
I
and
mean, the
embers
shell
and
might be
everything.
weaker when it's hot.
Yeah, so I was thinking.
All right. So you cast. You're gonna cast quench fire.
Yeah, just to get rid of all the fire around it.
Okay.
So
that will
so that we can go down safely.
Yeah, that will instantly cool down the pit and the embers and the coals and the charcoal and everything.
Go down and try hitting it with my scimitar and see what happens.
Okay. You hit it, and there's a soft thunk sound. You think if you really worked at it with the scimitar, you could probably eventually break through.
Okay.
But it would be back-breaking labor to try to do that, and it might damage the scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
if you could stick something in and wedge it open, that might be better.
Hey, Lafdul.
Yeah, I don't like the way you looked at me.
Let's see if you can get Braxon and his crowbar out here.
I mean, we could get the team out.
Yeah, we might need their help.
1 second. I'm just looking at a scroll that I've got. I've got like crushing walls spell on the scroll, but
That
think
I think you need man-made walls for that. I mean, you could probably figure out something without needing to get other people here.
I mean, can you not summon some insects and make them giant-sized?
I suppose I could try that.
Then they seem like they got the natural weaponry, as it are, to deal with this.
I think I actually have giant insect on a scroll.
Do you not know the spell?
Well,
I know the spell, but I don't have it memorized. But then again, I don't have anything to summon insects memorized either, so...
There's insects all around, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, you unless you needed a specific type of insect that wasn't around, you would be able to make an insect giant with giant insect.
Yeah, there are those insects that like to eat that fungus.
Yeah, I would have to at least direct the insect to the fungus as well, so...
I asked the Elven Druid, are there any ankegs around?
He will tell you that he is not aware of any particularly close by. They tend to like grain fields better. They tend to be found more in the agricultural regions.
I was wondering if that's something you druids have power over. I'm not sure if that's a monster or a
That's a
creature.
monster. That's a monster.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if animal summoning would help.
Generally, if it's not a real world animal or something that the DM has said, yeah, this is the equivalent of a real world animal. Like, there's a lot more bird-like creatures that fill niches on this planet than on other worlds. Those all count as normal animals, but a monster from the Monsters Compendium would not. No.
Well, I do know that there are some insects that enjoy eating this fungus. Don't know if there's any of them left in the area after my
fled
cloud of purification spell, but I think I will look around and see if I can find them.
Yeah, I mean they eat fungus in general, so yeah, I mean there's plenty of other fungi around.
Okay,
so
I'll collect up I'll collect up 3 of them.
That was a giant insect.
Right, let me see here.
Spell I was thinking of.
What level was that at?
Can't remember. I knew of the spell. I just didn't remember where it was.
I think it's 4th.
Yeah, it's a 4th level. All right, what level is that? That is a 12th level scroll. Oh.
What sphere is it under? Is it
Animal?
Oh, animal. Yeah, makes sense.
So 4 hit dice up to 12 hit dice, apparently. So I will grab 4 of them.
Okay. You probably wouldn't be able to get more than 2 down into that pit, so...
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just take the 2 down and...
go to town.
Like, once they're giant-sized, I should say.
Okay. And, give them maximum size.
All right.
That I can.
So 15%...
With that spell on the scroll.
15% failure chance.
Okay. Want me to roll that?
Nope, I do.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you cause a pair of those insects to grow to enormous size and direct them down into the pit. And they start chewing away at the hard shell. And there is some disturbing crunching sounds as they break through that shell and get
Good.
to the softer interior, and they go to town. They just start eating that.
I wonder if the food shrinks back down to them if they eat it.
All right. So in, I believe the spell lasts. I think the text of the spell is incorrect. I believe it lasts 2 rounds per level.
Yeah, I think permanent is a little.
Yeah.
Long.
That's
You'd be a
incorrect.
bit hesitant to use that.
So they've definitely torn it open. They won't be able to eat literally everything. So is there anything that you want to do once they are done? And there's just like bits of it left, but it has been like torn open the shell.
This sounds silly, Finn. You know the expression fighting fire with fire. What if you were to cause a disease on the fungus? A magical one to destroy it? It's just a hypothetical.
I don't want to think about the possible
Ramifications.
side effects of that.
All right.
Plus, at this point, like, you're not
You
sure
already
exactly
opened
what, what would you cause disease on exactly, you know?
Mhm.
And you're also looking
it's
at
the one creature.
Well, you're
It's
also
not
looking
creature.
at a long-term thing as opposed to like try to get rid of it now kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, now that the insects have opened it up and eaten up a chunk of the inside, maybe one more cloud of purification tomorrow will finish this.
Okay. You want to come back the next day and do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I will just go ahead and zip forward to saying that does take care of it.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. We are at about the end of the session. So let me go ahead and total up some XP. So that
Don't
is.
think I'll be getting much.
I mean, stuff happened, and they'll have stories to tell you, so you'll learn some things. Braxon, Ockar, Leva, and Solas, 1,000 XP each.
Woohoo! We're just sitting here while we waited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was some role playing that you guys did as well.
No, nothing for my cleric.
It's just split between. What would your cleric have gotten? Oh, right. No, I did forget about that. Yeah, that would be an extra 500. Sorry.
So 1,000 for cleric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lafdul, that is going to be 1,300 extra for your cleric.
1,300 extra for cleric.
Yeah. And for Finn, that is going to be.
What's the? So I get 500, 500, and 1,300.
No, 1,000. Sorry, and actually, you should get more for your mini adventure. 3,000 plus an extra 300 for your priest.
3,000 split.
Yeah.
Well,
and then an extra 300 just for your priest.
Do I get anything for stealthing around? Because I definitely did stealthing around.
Yes,
too much on my powers.
Did. Let's see. That would be. Actually, I think that would come out to 300 for your thief too. So there you go.
Makes it somewhat easier.
Yeah. And for Finn. 4,050.
Okay.
Slowly getting there. Extremely slowly for my cleric, since I still need over 200,000. Well, bit less than 200,000.
Well,
Yeah, mine's ages 9. What? Yeah, it is. So between
For my mage, it's only just bit under 70,000.
well, there will be more next time. So next session, Finn will probably want to be talking to the treants again. And if you think of anything in the meantime of anything else that you want to do to just like try to make sure that you've taken care of the fungus, absolutely, we can do that next time as well. Lafdul, if there's anything else that you want to do in the forest, you can think of that for next time as well.
Just think, Lafdul, you can have all the fun of listening in on a treant conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where every word takes like 5 minutes.
It'd be perfect. Hey, maybe there'll be a dryad around that he can spend time with instead.
I need a Pegasus.
So
That
we will be
sounded
back.
wrong
We will
context-wise.
be. We will be back
I'm not
next
trying to
week
follow
as
Very specific and peculiar tastes, I see.
Lafdul, are you getting too excited for Baldur's Gate 3 and the bear stuff?
Oh, God.
as the party decides what else they want to do in port. You guys will probably have exhausted the spells that you can get. So, but if there's other things, I do want to say that if you want to trade for items, think of a specific item. Don't say, "Are there any wands?" Say, I'm only interested in a sword +2 or a wand of fire, that kind of thing. So specific items, and nothing particularly rare is going to be available. You're looking mostly at either items that characters in town may have in excess, or something that is just worth giving up for what you have instead. So that's going to be kind of the what you'd be looking at. But you'll need to ask for specific things. And if we wrap up on Ericol, the party might be heading out back into the Crystal Sphere next time. So I want to thank you guys for playing. I do also want to say that in 2 weeks we will be immediately finishing up this stream and going straight into Zerfall's charity stream on the 22nd. So I will be trying not to finish late on that day, trying to finish right on time. And I will be going to participate in that charity stream for 12 hours afterwards, so hopefully I don't have a bad night's sleep beforehand, that's for sure. But I want to thank the players for playing today, and I had a great time. This was a lot of fun role-playing all this out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And we will be back next week for more. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for the game.